Hi there, my name is John Stevens, pastor of Zion Lutheran Church in Oregon City, Oregon, and we are part of the ELCA, and welcome to Dollar Store Children's Sermons, where we take a look at the lectionary text, tie them to an item from the Dollar Tree, or the kids' room, or the garage, or the junk drawer. You know how we've been doing it. I am so glad you're here. Thank you so much for your partnership in this ministry, and taking a little bit of time of your week, taking a little bit of however, put the verb in the noun. And anyway, thank you for being here. I appreciate it. And thank you for the love that you're showing your families and your kids. And thank you for answering the call. Thank you for the work you're doing, because you're rocking it. This is for the narrative lectionary, and we're looking at the temptation of Jesus. Following the baptism of Jesus, we're looking at Jesus getting, if it's Mark, driven out into the wilderness. The Spirit leads Jesus into the wilderness right after the baptism, and then it moves into temptation. I think we can all relate to that in some way, some way, shape, or form. And so, looking at talking about temptation with kids and looking at being tempted to do something. And so one of the things we could talk about, we're not at Lent yet, but you could talk about that during Lent you give something up, and that idea of giving something up that you love, so that that feeling about when you are tempted to take part of it, you can then remember things. The idea of giving up or being tempted by, it's like, I'm not going to drink caffeine anymore. I mean, that idea. I also like the fact that in the temptation of Jesus, as he goes through that battle about, as the tempter continually throws things at Jesus, and Jesus answers back, this idea that we have a Savior, we have a Messiah, we have a Christ that understands and knows what it's like to go through those hard patches where we're bombarded by things, and so that we can have someone to turn to and to say, Jesus, I trust that you know what I'm going through, and to know that Jesus does, and that importance about someone to turn to. So one of the springboards is talking about giving something up. The other is talking about a friend that you can lean on, a friend that is so important to you, that when you were going through hard times, when you were going through temptations, when you're struggling, because temptations can look at many different ways and shapes and forms, but when you're struggling and having a hard time, that's the person you call. For me, it's James Allgard. When I'm struggling, and that is a spiritual buddy, if you will, that if I need that kind of guidance, he's the first person I'll turn to. I've got others, Jan's another one, and I've got friends that I connect with, that text study. I've got other folks, but there's a couple that are at that top of the list that when I struggle, I go, I need your guidance. I need your help. They become, in a way, pastor to me. Bishop Laurie, our bishop in the Oregon Synod, is another one that if I need guidance, I turn to. And I just feel so, I use this word and I don't use it lightly, I feel blessed to have people like that in my life. And I think it's important when we talk to our kids, we say, there are people, whether it be the pastor in the church, or whether it be the Sunday school teacher, whether it be their parents, whether it be their grandparents, whether it be, to talk about having a person that we can turn to, and they end up being really the presence of Jesus in their life and in your life, as you can turn. And I think sharing those stories with our kids, that let them know that you struggle as well, and that you need help, and that you turn to someone. And so, I mean, there are certain things in my life that I'm very clear about. I'm very clear about that come June will be 7 years that I have that I stopped drinking, that I'm in recovery, and that, those things where it's like, I'm very clear to the congregation about those things. And I have folks that will then turn to me with their own struggles, because they know I get it. there's certain things that we're honest with, and that's not necessarily what all these things you share in a children's sermon, but I'm just at a point of talking to your kids and saying, I struggle. And I have people I turn to that play the role of Jesus for me. And when Jesus is tempted, as he calls back, and he's, humans do not live by bread alone, and all of those things. There's a crucial part in that I think can be a springboard into the children's sermon, into a deeper conversation. Then I think from there you can expand it then into the sermon, the regular sermon. But when you move from children's time into the time where you're addressing everybody. But I'm hoping that can be a springboard for you in your children's sermon and for your planning on this Sunday. Thank you again for the love you show your kids and for spending some time here with me in this way. You're rocking it. I said it earlier and I mean it. Thank you so much for your partnership and your answering the call. All right? Peace, and I will see you next week.